For this one, we're doing volume again, but it's formed when we take this region and rotate it around the y-axis. Now, we've done this before. We talked about, like, if it's attached to the axis of revolution, we spin it, it comes out to be a disk a lot of times, but that's only if that rectangle is perpendicular. Remember, if the rectangle is parallel to the axis of revolution, it's going to be a shell, parallel shell. So if we look at this picture, we've got our axis, we've got this rectangle, and we're spinning it around, we get a shell. So for a shell, we need the average radius, the height, and the thickness. So thickness is always the easiest one. That's always dx or dy. The height, that one is basically just going to be the top minus the bottom in this case. So that again is y sub 1 minus y sub 2. Also, kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, if we're writing this, let's say this is free response, and I write y sub 1 minus y sub 2, we have to denote that somewhere. We could say, if we say y sub 1 equals this, y sub 2 equals this, they can't assume that one or the other is y sub 1 and y sub 2. So you have to put it that way. Or if you want to write just f of x minus g of x, that would be a way to write it. But if you choose to use y sub 1 and y sub 2 like we have been, we should label that. Average radius then, that is right here. That's just going to be the x value. So the x value of this, basically going from the y-axis to this horizontal distance. Remember, if it's around an axis that's like a vertical line, we would have to do either x minus the line or the line minus x. But here are our parts that we have, and we still are going from 0 to b, and we have 2 pi out in front here. Average radius is x times y sub 1 minus y sub 2 times dx. Yes?
If I say, like, the b value is x in this sense, would that multiply if I put, like, x in?
As long as you say x equals this somewhere and you labeled it in your work, that would be fine. And yes, if you put x there, that's fine. This x is not going to be the same.
Okay.
I hope. Let's check it and try.
I have to do something.
All right, so we've got 2 pi, and then math 9. We're going from 0 to b again of x times, in parentheses, y sub 1 minus y sub 2. Close the parentheses for the y sub 1, y sub 2, and then we're doing this in terms of x. So we should get 5.715. So it sounds like maybe storing for a or b is better than storing for x in this situation.
It was the intersection point where we stored for